is your tita in China, and today we're back with a new skincare video. So today we are going to talk about peptides. We're going to continue our conversation about lipids and proteins in skincare. Last week we talked about ceramides and the video is over here. This week we're going to talk about peptides, which are the most popular proteins when it comes to skincare. Now, I've noticed that peptides have become really popular since The Ordinary has released the buffet serum, followed by the buffet with copper peptides. Since then, I have noticed that there are more and more people who are actually looking for peptide products and are more interested in peptide when it comes to anti-aging, because it definitely is a much milder and it doesn't really have a lot of irritation compared to other anti-aging ingredients like retinoid or retinoids in general. So while peptides do have some science backing it up, there's also a lot of marketing exaggeration behind it. And today we're going to talk about which is which so that you will be able to make better skincare choices. But before we move on and talk about peptides, as usual, if you're new here, welcome! My name is Emmeline and I am your tita in China. I upload skincare-related videos as well as China-related videos. So if that's something that's interesting to you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so that you will know the next time I will upload a new video. Also, follow me on Instagram, your tita in China, because that is where I do more frequent product reviews, share information about skincare, and also do a lot of interactive conversations or interactive questions with my followers. So if you have a burning skincare question that you want me to answer, or if you have any product review requests, I will most definitely be able to put it on Instagram faster than here on YouTube. So check me out there if that's interesting to you. So without further ado, let's talk about peptides. Peptides simply are protein fragments. So if you break down a protein molecule, you're going to get peptides. And if you break that down even more, you're going to get amino acids, which incidentally also The Ordinary offers. So The Ordinary just has every single molecule that you can find in skincare out there, and it's great, but it's also quite confusing. And if you're only getting your toe in the skincare pool, it might be really intimidating with all of these ingredients getting thrown at you. So anyway, depending on how peptides are combined together, they actually will form different kinds of proteins. So a certain combination of peptides will produce collagen, a certain combination of peptides will produce something else, maybe keratin, maybe filaggrin, which are all components, protein components that are present in the skin. So peptides are already part of our skin's biology, our skin's anatomy, but do they actually work in a topical formulation, or is this all just hype? The reality about peptides is much more complicated, because sure, when it comes to the lab, peptides actually can stimulate the growth of collagen or a lot of other proteins in the skin. That is true. However, there are a lot of different factors that we need to take into consideration when we're talking about peptides in the topical formulation. So the first problem that I see when I look at studies is the fact that there are so many peptides that are present in skincare, and we don't really know which one is more effective than the other. So there will always be marketing claims, and since peptides, they're not a drug, we don't need to prove efficacy in terms of our marketing claims. There are claims that this peptide is the peptide, and there are other claims that, for example, matrixyl, which is a peptide that is patented by Procter & Gamble, because it is patented, a lot of brands and a lot of consumers think that matrixyl might be, better than any peptide out there used by another brand. In all honesty, when it comes to research, we don't actually know which particular peptides would make the best combination in terms of keeping the skin hydrated, keeping the skin young looking. But in reality, it doesn't matter whether a peptide is patented or not. It doesn't matter if the peptide actually has a brand name or not. At the end of the day, peptides still don't have that much research backing it up, especially human trials. And that leads me to the second biggest problem when it comes to peptides, and that is the skin itself. Remember that the skin is a very good barrier. After all, you have that skin barrier there, it's intact, it's keeping the outside world outside and the inside world inside. And the skin is a very good barrier. This is the reason why it's not easy for, say, for example, water to be absorbed. I mean, we don't absorb water the same way fabric does. And we also don't squeeze water out the same way fabric does, because the skin actually creates a very good barrier against moisture loss and moisture absorption. Only certain molecular sizes can actually go deeper into the skin, but even then, you can't really go that deep because, for example, glycolic acid, it goes deep into the skin, but it doesn't actually go deep into the dermis layer. Peptides actually need to be introduced into the dermis layer so that it can signal the production of collagen, or it can actually bind together and produce collagen. But if that doesn't happen, then the collagen will not be produced. And peptides are big molecules, so they only stay at the surface of your skin. They don't actually go to the dermis layer where they are needed to produce that much desired collagen. But this is the little nitty-gritty that the brand or the marketing is not going to tell you, because if they do, then you won't buy the product. So do I recommend peptides? Kinda. I mean, if you're someone who is still pretty young, you have pretty normal skin, and you just sort of want to start thinking and getting into anti-aging, but you don't really feel the need, or you're a little bit nervous about starting on a retinoid, then peptides are a great start on your maintenance routine or your anti-aging routine. That's a very good place to start. But really, if you're, for example, in your 30s like myself, or if you have already certain issues like hyperpigmentation, or if you have acne scars, for example, then definitely peptides are not really your first option. You really should go more into retinoids, because that is definitely what's going to help you rejuvenate your skin and fight the early signs of aging. But what are peptides good for then? If they don't actually stimulate the growth of collagen because they don't go deep enough into the dermis layer of the skin, what are they good for? Why are we going crazy over them? They're really good humectants. That's the thing. Even if they just stay on the top layer of your skin, peptides by nature absorb water, and they actually keep your skin hydrated, and they keep your skin looking a lot fresher without the heaviness of a more emollient or a heavier moisturizer. So yes, peptides can actually still be helpful in your skincare, especially if you're someone who doesn't really like the texture of ceramide creams, for example. You might find that a peptide serum might give you the hydration that you need. But again, it depends on the kind of skin that you have. All I can say is peptides are very good humectants. Now, another popular humectant is hyaluronic acid. And how do I compare peptides and hyaluronic acid? Hyaluronic acid tends to be more on the stickier side. It's a little bit tacky. Peptides tend to be a lot smoother on the skin. They have a finer texture. But again, it really depends on where you get your hyaluronic acid from. The one from The Ordinary is quite sticky, while the ones, for example, from Good Molecules or any other product really that has hyaluronic acid can be much lighter on the skin and can be much more cosmetically elegant. I don't think that the level of hydration that you get from peptides is that much different from a hyaluronic acid, but what really might matter to you is the texture and, of course, the cost of certain skincare ingredients. Peptides are a little bit more expensive than hyaluronic acid, even if they do have the same effect on your skin. But again, that's up to you. Are you convinced that peptides are actually a good anti-aging skincare ingredient? Or are you more convinced that it's just a humectant and you're better off with a cheaper hyaluronic acid? So at the end of the day, it's up to you. It really depends whether or not you want to add a peptide in your skincare routine. All I'm trying to give you is information about them so that you will be able to make better and more informed skincare choices. So that's it for today, guys. That's our video. If you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up and share this to your friends. And also, if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please put them in the comments down below and let's have a conversation. And don't forget, if you have any really burning questions, or maybe you're also active on Instagram, check me out there as well, because I also do a lot of skincare content there that I don't get to put here on YouTube. So thank you for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye! Chat again.